Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, friends. Prime Minister has mentioned that back in 2000 he was part of the Indian delegation to Russia. And I'd like to say that since that time we've been acquainted with Prime Minister, and I'm very pleased that we have an opportunity to continue our cooperation now that he acts in a new capacity as head of the Indian government. Today we have had very substantive and constructive talks on the whole gamut of Indian-Russian talks. I'd like to say that we are mostly content with how this visit is being conducted and with the outcome of this visit. We have had an exchange of opinions on the key issues of both international and regional agendas. Steadily deepening our cooperation with our friends from India is indubitably Russia's foreign policy priority. Our bilateral relations have been elevated to the level of specially privileged strategic partnership, and they continue to develop dynamically. The principal dimensions for our further work, with a view to cooperating, well, all these issues have been discussed during the first half of this day, and they have been reflected in our joint statement. We intend to deepen our political dialogue, to reinforce our business and scientific and technical cooperation, and they continue to develop dynamically. The principal dimensions for our further work, with a view to cooperating, well, all these issues have been discussed during the first half of this day, and they have been reflected in our joint statement. We intend to deepen our political dialogue, to reinforce our business and scientific and technical cooperation, as well as to promote humanitarian contacts, which for many decades have been fostered between our two countries. We have placed a particular emphasis during our meeting on the current trade and economic issues. In 2013, our bilateral trade amounted to $10 billion. We believe, and that is quite evident and obvious, this is not enough. We have talked in detail the practical measures aimed at diversifying our bilateral trade and at further increasing our investment. We have agreed to stimulate our companies to cooperate more closely and to work closely to more actively transition to using national currencies in mutual settlements. New promises and prospects for Russian and Indian cooperation will arise once on January the 1st, 2015, the Eurasian Economic Union starts to function. Prime Minister has just mentioned that we can build special relations between India and the Eurasian Economic Union, so we have agreed to continue consultations on an agreement on a free trade area. As far as the bilateral relations are concerned, we agreed to put more effort in supporting joint high-technology industrial and scientific projects. We will facilitate the establishment of an Indian operator of mobile communications. It is with interest that we regard the Indian initiative of creating an industrial corridor between Delhi and Mumbai, which provides for creating up-to-date infrastructure and establishment of innovation enterprises. Very soon, the assembly of bulldozers is going to reach its full capacity. Next year, in the state of Gujarat, where Prime Minister was born, the Cebu Holding Company will facilitate the launch of one of the world's largest plants producing butyl rubber. We, for our side, are also ready to help Indian companies participate in creating industrial parks in the territory of Russia, in the development of pharmaceuticals, the production of fertilizers and the coal industry. We also offer our Indian partners to procure our civil aviation aircrafts, Sukhoi Superjet 100 and MS-21. As far as the peaceful use of outer space is concerned, we are willing to cooperate in the development of low-orbit spacecraft and the use of GLONASS navigation system. I'd like to say a couple of words about the energy field, which has been mentioned about Prime Minister Modi as well. It is a promising field. With the help of Russia and according to the schedule, the nuclear power plant Kudan-Kulam has been constructed. The first unit has been commissioned. Very soon we intend to get down to construct the second series of units. Just now we have signed a very important document, the strategic vision for strengthening Russia-India cooperation in the peaceful uses of atomic energy. It outlines the plans to construct in India more than 20 nuclear power units and to cooperate in constructing nuclear power plants with third countries, according to Russian design, to work together, to mine for uranium, to produce nuclear fuel, and to handle nuclear waste. This creates the groundwork for a long-standing and truly mutually beneficial cooperation in the atomic field. I'd like to say that in this field we have reached a new level of cooperation. This is not just about trade in services or goods or even technologies. This is the creation of a new industrial branch. It's new for India. As far as the oil and gas industry is concerned, Rosneft and Gazprom, our largest companies, work together with their Indian partners on projects to explore the Russian Arctic shelf and to increase the supplies of LNG. Russia and India have been long cooperating in the military and technical field, and I refer not just about the supplies of ready-made products. We have reached the level of a close production cooperation. The implementation of the missile program BrahMos is a testimony to that. I'd like to say that there are other projects such as the joint development of a multifunctional jet fighter and a multi-role transport aircraft. This is another stride in our cooperation. We have accumulated good traditions in the field of humanitarian ties. Last year, 11 Russian cities saw the Festival of Indian Culture, and it was a success. This year, we're celebrating the Festival of Russian Culture in India. We have agreed to further provide all kinds of state support to social support and tourist exchanges between our citizens. We have placed a particular emphasis upon international issues. Our approaches to key global regional issues, either similar or very close. We are in favor of working together to resolve the situation in Syria and Iraq, to stabilize the state of affairs in Afghanistan. We advocate a new security and cooperation architecture in Asia. We are willing to continue to coordinate closely our work within the United Nations, within BRICS, the RIC and the SCO. Active work in these formats is very important amid the difficult conditions the world is witnessing. Apart from talks with Prime Minister Modi, my program of stay in India includes other important events. There is the meeting with the President of the Republic of India. There is also the meeting with the head of the Indian National Congress Party. Apart from that, together with Prime Minister of India, we're going to have a discussion with the representatives of the Russian and Indian business circles. We're also going to participate in the inauguration of the World Diamond Conference. Prime Minister Modi has also said that this is another important area of cooperation, because the Alrosa company from Russia is today's world's largest miner of diamonds, and India is the world's leader in processing diamonds. This visit is going to give an impetus to further strengthening the multifaceted relations between our two countries, certainly. There are issues we have been dealing with for a very long time as far as the security of our countries is concerned. I refer in particular to fighting organized crime, to fighting terrorism, to fighting drug trafficking. I'd like to say in conclusion that we are highly appreciative of the friendship, trust and mutual understanding with India. We're going to do everything in our power to develop the Russian-Indian partnership for the sake of our two great nations. I am grateful to Prime Minister, to all Indian colleagues, for all our Indian friends, for the traditionally cordial welcome and for your hospitality. Thank you very much.
With that, we come to the end of this event. A joint statement, Druzhba Dosti, a vision for strengthening the Indian-Russian partnership over the next decade, is being circulated. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.